Welcome, everybody, to our Tuesday night thing that happens most of the time. If you are new here, we stream Monster of the Week with a fair amount of homebrew rules in there. Yeah, this is part 2 of our episode that got unfortunately cut short last week. And so quick recap, the gang has been invited to a very prestigious, very secretive academic conference on magical things put on by not skeptics. So we're expecting to learn some interesting things, and we've been tasked by the church to just go take a look. Oh, wait, but we did have a specific thing we were looking for.
It's a wizard conference.
That's right.
And we're supposed to get hold of a book. Michael's completely out of his element here because he's not supposed to shoot anybody, and he does not deal with magic except defeat it. So
we cannot murder anybody. Okay. And I think when we last left, we were basically on our way to the conference.
Yeah. So unless you guys have any communications or whatnot, you want to play out for like the car ride over.
I think we're good to get there.
Huh?
I think we're good to get there.
All right. Well, the hotel is a beautiful converted castle nestled into the sort of subalpine regular barrier on one of the big hiking destination mountains just on the outside of the Wealdport suburbs. It's got a pretty famous history. Some eccentric billionaire Felton offshoot found a castle somewhere in Bavaria that he really, really liked, and then had the whole thing built, replicated brick for brick in the mountains of northwestern Washington, and then found that it was kind of an absolute bear to maintain, and it was big, and he was bored. Also had something of a nasty coke habit. So eventually it was acquired by a sort of restaurant hotel management group and converted into a high-end resort style hotel, kind of catering to the professional class. It's got really, really nice rooms, all the amenities. It's got a sort of a modest spa in the basement, and its big money maker is a nice, fairly large convention sort of center hall room in the off main hall there. It is it's extremely nice. And if you would have, looked up on a website or something what you'd be spending if you wanted to spend, a 3-day weekend there on your own recognizance, it would have cost thousands, plural. So pretty nice stuff. It's also the type of place where when you pull up, someone offers to park your car for you and take your bags.
And we're in our normal car. Well, I guess it's sort of normal car. So we let them, I'm guessing, just.
Absolutely. This is the life. Guy takes your keys, gives you a ticket, valet ticket without really saying a word, and just kind of nods at you, gets in your car, and drives away. And you are here, and you're not alone. There's a lot of foot traffic as you arrive, a lot of people, but a very, very interesting cross mix of humanity. You see a couple folks in like the sweater vest and spectacles sort of look. A couple of really rich looking guys wearing like golf clothes and khakis. You see a group of like goth looking people having a very, very enthusiastic reunion and catching up, right down to like some absolutely monstrous, muscular looking bodybuilder type dudes who have notebooks open that look ridiculous in their oversized hands, like talking to each other and comparing some stuff. It is a very, very broad cross section of identity. You're a little surprised by just how many different types of people you see here, but they're all friendly and there's plenty of cross-pollination. Like people are recognizing each other, shaking hands, giving hugs.
Cool. I'm assuming there's no one we recognize.
You can roll to check.
So I'm just wondering if there would be anybody from like the university that we would recognize.
Go ahead and give a roll to your sharp.
I want to roll too because I have a pretty.
Go ahead.
That's gonna be a 5.
Yeah.
I got an 11.
Yeah. So the 5 doesn't do anything. Rose, you recognize actually like kind of some classmates, like upperclassmen, maybe just graduated a year ago. They're like hanging around a bunch of their bags, and some of them are social, some of them are like, this person's here. And that whole thing going on. And as for you, Mike, and Edith, someone sees you guys first and trundles over enthusiastically, all 6'4", 320 pounds of him. Yeah, quite, yes, sir. I knew I would encounter you again, sir. Yeah. What brings you to these sunny mountains besides a nice debate among professorial types on the more esoteric and mystical? Yes.
Well, I'm here pretty much just to accompany Edith. She's more of the arcane gifted type. I'm just here to carry her bags, as it were.
Right. Arcane and gifted. Yes, of course. It is nice to meet you, madam.
Do I know you? Do we?
This is Professor Billingsley.
But
You've
we
never had a.
I've already described him for you. I'm sure I've mentioned him.
You've never had a class with him, Edith, but everybody at Felton knows this guy. He's a singular character, and of course, his iconic mass. He's just a large, tall, round dude.
Yep. Glad to meet you. Where should we go?
I believe I've seen you around. You a student in my seminar on various Greek takes on draconic myth.
No, that was the semester that I was locked up in the nut house.
Oh, right, yes, the loon. I knew I had recognized you somewhere else.
Yeah.
Well, I assure you, madam, no one makes it very far in our line of work if they're not a little touched in the head, what?
Well, I mean, I would like to make it out of our line of work, so, you know.
In 1988, I stayed for 2 weeks in the Bomby Bin. Was convinced that voices were talking to me, and I had made a ghostly friend named Steve. Turns out Steve was not real, but merely a manifestation of my subconscious when I consumed opiates. Quite fun weekend vacation.
Rose, this is your bag. I don't know what to do with this.
No, you're doing great. Hi, it's good to meet you.
I've seen you in the hallowed hallways of a law studies building, as it were. Never seen you in one of my classes, though, I don't believe. Unless you're one of the ones who took my Dragons and Poetry class in 2021.
I'm sure you remembered that.
Yes, quite true. I didn't have many individuals in that class on account of I woke up one morning realizing I was the only one still teaching in person what with the disease and what have you.
I don't suppose you have any books on draconic ability to like grow back severed limbs or anything like that, like a gecko. Is that a thing that happens if a dragon were to get a severed limb?
The draconic form is immutable, yes, tied to their ancient and grounded power. It can never be severed, only injured.
Cool, well, that's a relief.
Yes. For what purpose is this? Is it that new RPG video game, or that one where you sit down and paint the statues and roll dice at one another?
Both.
Yeah, not an expert on those, but happy to inform a session with my knowledge.
So,
So
is
do you
there
guys-
like a? No, you first.
Nope, sorry.
I was just going to ask if there was like a check-in or if we needed to do anything before things get going.
Oh, you're here for the convention?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know bugger all about the convention. I'm just here because I like to spend weekends at this resort. But I see a queue forming inside by the front desk. You go enjoy. In the meantime, I will abscond to the bar and get started on my Negronis.
Lovely. Enjoy.
You have
We'll
fun.
see you around, Professor.
I'm sure we will, for our fates are tied together like shoelaces married by bullies in the old school halls. Yeah, we'll see you shortly. He just trundles off.
What a character.
Why is he not at this convention?
Yeah, I'm real confused about that part.
He might have forgotten. He still does a lot of drugs, from all I can tell.
So many. Pretty much constantly.
I mean, I feel like that would just help this kind of thing, but sure. So heading over to the queue.
Yeah. Did you say that out loud?
Yes.
I think
Person
so.
you line up behind is just kind of giggles. And yeah, that's not as helpful as you'd think.
I mean, religions have used it for centuries as an aid to quests.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm not knocking it. It's just different objectives is all.
And you would know this how?
I dabble.
In drugs or magic?
Well, depending on the decade. I would say I'm quite experienced in both.
And you are?
It's nice to meet you. I'm Professor Kathy Davidson. She extends a hand, and I am one of the presenters this year. I must say, ladies, you're on the young side. We don't get many. Usually, there's a cohort from Felton, and that's it.
You dropped out there for me. What did you say?
We don't get many. We don't get many youngsters your age. Usually, there's a cohort from Felton, and that's it.
Magical trauma of the world-ending variety will do it to you.
Well, that sounds like a story.
A very, very complicated one.
Did you put back whatever you brought forth?
No.
More or less. We put back like 90% of it.
No, we broke it.
We put like 90% back in place.
90%'s not bad if you're grading on a curve.
Exactly.
Congratulations.
Is that how the universe works? Does the universe work on a curve?
Oh, I could really mess with your minds and mention that, well, you don't know, and I don't know, probably all the times in our thousands of years existing on this planet like as a species, how many times the world must have been broken, put back together, magic introduced and pulled away, various things rewritten, creatures created and rendered extinct. Esoteric history is a fascinating field, and it is my specialty, and it is defined by the lovely answer, I just don't know how bad it ever got.
Well, that's dark and kind of encouraging.
Bit of a mind warp, isn't it?
This whole thing is really.
And see, that is going to be the first obstacle that you need to overcome.
How so?
The more odd it is, the more you allow yourselves to indulge in how everything you're doing and witnessing cannot be, the harder it is to actualize your intent, which is, of course, the root of all of this.
Oh, well, I mean,
Eventually, you're going to cross a line where you realize that reality is less of a construct you're stuck in and more akin to your bitch and then the fun starts.
Well, if my bitch could stop trying to murder my friends, that'd be great.
Murder it back.
I'm going to opt out of the murdering part, I think.
It's not a field for the squeamish, but you wouldn't be the first one to have principles and keep to them.
Rose, I think she's underestimating you because the last time you almost did kill the entire universe. So just don't.
Okay, well,
Don't
no,
try to
like I
murder it
get
back.
that. I'm going to.
I'm
try
sorry.
not to do it again. I'm really trying hard to not repeat that last one.
And who is this tall drink of water? If you, sir, are a wizard, I'd eat my hat.
Fortunately for you, you don't have to eat your hat. I'm just here to accompany the ladies and carry their bags for them, pretty much. I'm sort of their personal secretary.
Successful young ladies.
No, he lost a bet.
Oh, you lot are going to be fun. Are you here the entire weekend?
Yes, unless the world
Kinda
ends.
seems that way. Yeah.
Well, I look forward to seeing you, and I hope that you have a wonderful time. And if I may offer one piece of advice,
Of course.
learn all you can and be very wary whose way you get in. When your instincts tell you to duck, duck. When your instincts tell you to stay in your room, stay. And when your instincts tell you to leave, it's time to go home. Good luck, girls.
That's really ominous.
Oh, wait, like how wild does this thing get? It's a convention.
Pretty wild. And as if to punctuate her words, what had been like kind of a brewing, like it looked like kind of just like an excited conversation between two guys, maybe just like a debate about sports or something, gets very, very loud. And then all of a sudden, one of them just blasts the other with some sort of violent emerald green energy. And the other goes sprawling, stands up, his hands fill with fire before they are dogpiled by other attendees and restrained.
I guess welcome to Hogwarts.
We're getting started early this year.
How steep is the insurance bill for this convention?
I would imagine ridiculously steep, but when you can turn lead into gold.
Hold on.
Edith finally is interested in magic.
Wait, but no, really?
Alchemy, yes. It's high end, but pretty basic. Do you see Robert over there? And she points at this very well-appointed guy in a suit, sort of holding court with a group of other people also in suits who have very supplicated body language towards him.
Mm-hmm.
The world knows him as a billionaire CEO, but those of us who know him know better. All of his wealth comes from conjured precious metals and gemstones. It's what he's used to build his companies, and he's not even particularly apologetic about it.
Why don't people just do this then? Why would you not just share this?
It's hard to learn.
Okay, but clearly people can learn it. If Dingbat over there can learn it, I'm sure he wasn't the brightest bulb in his batch. But money gets you all sorts of places. Why not just share that with everybody? Do you know how much good that could do?
Oh, you don't know anything about this, do you?
But we're new-ish.
Part of what makes gold valuable is its rarity. If you shared the ability to make gold, then everyone wouldn't have any value.
I
Also,
understand
if you
that.
shared the ability to make it, then that's all anybody would do. The field of magic would grind to the halt. The market would be completely oversaturated. And
people like Robert would lose their wealth and would have to do something that actually benefits society. Boop, boop, boo.
Exactly. Do you think Robert's eager to teach his knowledge to anybody else?
No, but clearly he's not the only one.
Do you think any of them are?
Edith will learn, and then we'll just teach her.
Clearly, why would bad people be the only people who could learn how to turn lead into gold? Why is that? That seems like a weird rule.
That
Does it require some sort of weird sacrifice? Because that would make sense to me.
you know the consequences of failing in your study of
A
the
lot of
Elder
it is
Gods,
really
right?
just like fancy chemistry.
Oh no. Well, be careful how deep you delve and how quickly. You could lose everything.
I don't need lots of gold. I just want to be safe and also maybe do some good for the people around us. Oh, God.
I'm talking about protecting your brain, honey.
Oh.
Magic leads to madness.
Rose?
What?
Rose,
I
did you
didn't
hear
do
that?
anything.
Did
I've
you hear that?
literally done nothing.
You're going to enjoy the keynote, then, I'm guessing. It
How
might
do you
potentially-
imagine
it might potentially enable your magic-based wealth activism.
No, not really for me, but I'll
Or
go.
also, never mind.
I'm going to go say hi to a couple of friends of mine. Good luck. Seek me out if you have questions. I find y'all charming, refreshing. It's been a while since we've had successful, naive newbies of any talent.
Well, I
Very
feel like
exciting.
that's a you guys problem, like for real.
There is a high turnover rate, and by turnover I mean casualty. Anyway, you have a wonderful morning. And she just waves and walks over to Robert, who and they hug each other like they've known each other forever.
Can you imagine finding the secret to making lead into gold and then just like making a pile of it to sit on?
I think he's selling it, but
No,
I think
if he's a billionaire, he's just sitting on a pile of gold.
the key takeaway from that conversation was that you need to be careful using magic; it'll drive you mad, and caution isn't really one of your strong suits. So I would
In
really
my
try to
defense,
develop that.
I've been saying that about magic since the beginning, and I keep asking people to take this thing out of my head, and nobody will. So if nobody's going to take
Because
it out
it's dangerous. Just
yes,
yanking it out of your head might be dangerous. So let's learn more about it carefully.
and just
and then
slowly
see.
go mad.
No, not slowly go mad. We're
Mhm.
going to
That's
learn
what
how to
I'm saying.
handle it. Or
That's
you're going to learn how to use it and love it, and that would be super fun too.
It's akin to training for combat. If you throw someone who has no experience in combat, he might just go mad. But if you condition him, he can be prepared. So when he goes to combat, he's better prepared and doesn't go insane. Think about it that way.
I'm thinking about the high casualty rate that she just pointed out.
I think
Again,
we're
if you take the time to train someone carefully, you reduce the chance of casualties. That's my wheelhouse, how I think of it.
One would hope that one would not become a statistic, but statistically speaking, the odds are not in your favor.
Actually, the more elite troops go on more dangerous missions have lower casualty rates than average troops historically.
You know what?
better
Math is not
prepared
my
you can be,
strong suit. We should go get signed up.
the better trained you can be, the less chance you have becoming one of those insane casualties. So.
I'm trying to be trained. It gives me a headache, and I hate it.
And also, I hate it.
Right
First,
on.
gonna head to the line.
The line moves quick, and before you know it, you're in front of a table with this very severe, sort of statuesque individual who's just sort of like boredly checking names and passing out tags and just brochures, like programs, as he checks people in. He stands out, though, kind of from the rest of the crowd. He is pretty well built. His eyes are very active and alive, and his face is just kind of this scarred up mess.
Hello.
Checking in.
Mm-hmm.
Name.
Rosemary Celeste. And Edith L should remember this, but she doesn't.
Jameson, it's fine.
Jameson and Mike O'Connor.
Oh. He makes a couple notes. Hands you your name tags. Hands you your programs.
Thank you. Can I ask why the O?
Oh, just interesting to see this year's church plants. They get younger every year.
They don't come back,
Not usually.
and they just marked us down as church plants.
I didn't mark it down as anything. And he shows the list, and it just shows you guys checked off as attending. I just know you when I see you.
Great.
Interesting.
Especially you, big guy. What? Jarhead, squid, grunt.
Former Marine.
All right, so maybe you're human after all. Semper Fi.
That's a statement. Well, thank you.
Hey, you. And he kind of nods his head at you, Mike. So, I get types that look like you, and I'm sure you can protect yourself. Did they really send a bunch of kids with you guys this year?
We're not expecting any trouble, but those two girls can handle themselves.
That's
You'd
your
be
first-
surprised.
That's your first mistake, buddy. You'll find trouble.
It
Tell
usually
me.
finds me.
You've got our variety of magic on you, don't you?
Yeah.
See, I find that when the wizards get a little bit excited, like to start flinging around their fire and their ghosts and their terrifying illusions, just lean on my old buddy Smith and Wesson to calm the situation down. Reed?
How did you get into this?
I'm here to make sure that lot doesn't burn this investment property to the ground like they did the last hotel. You heard that? Did you hear that story? Did your father, your mother superior, your Monsignor let you in on that one?
No, this is the first time attending one of these. I'm
Yeah.
usually more in the field.
Well, last time, right? 4 years ago or somewhat, we were out in what was it? Somewhere in Connecticut, right? The keynote speaker said he had learned how to control the weather, and in his demo, the building got hit. I am not exaggerating. No less than 103 times consecutively by lightning. It's considered one of the most mystifying weather events to ever hit the eastern seaboard, and it pulverized a $58 million property.
Doesn't really surprise me. He was overestimating his abilities.
Yeah. Well, let me just put it this way. The organizers of this event hire folks like me after that. I feel it's best to be upfront about it with people like you because, let me put it this way, we stand out in a crowd, don't we?
Yeah. You served overseas?
Oh, yeah.
Afghanistan, Iraq?
Kandahar.
I did my time in Iraq too.
Sandbox.
Yeah.
You must be a pretty good shot or pretty good at taking cover. You look a damn sight better than I do.
I was, let's say, my first experience with magic wasn't here in the States. If that makes any sense. Kind of help keep you safe sometimes.
I understand that, my friend. Lost in the mountains, separated from my unit, bleeding out of a couple new entries, I should say. And I could have sworn I was being led back to safety by one of my best friends, one of my squatties, until I caught him knowing things that he shouldn't have known. Just this instinct in the back of my mind that I shouldn't follow him any further. I woke up the next morning, he's gone. I get back to my FOB to find that I was the only survivor and that our unit reported being called out into the dark by my friend calling for help.
Yeah. You didn't tell any of the psychs about that, did you?
Of course I didn't.
Good.
Of course I didn't.
Yeah.
Would have been nice if we could have waved our hands and made it rain fire or whatnot, huh?
Yeah. Made things
Nice.
a lot easier.
No, I don't know. I feel better knowing that some of y'all are at least bringing folks who know what real heat looks like. Just watch out for those kids, man. I know looking around, you think, oh, it's a bunch of nerds worming around, kissing each other's asses, trying to look for a one-up. But this is my third year running security at this event, and let me tell you something. This is a shark tank, and the blood is already in the water. You dig?
I got you.
Good luck,
Hey, what's your name when I catch it?
My name's Howard.
Call me Michael.
Michael, it's nice to meet you. And
Nice to meet you,
the tables are pretty thick. Mahogany, 8 inches. Flip them if you need easy cover.
I'll keep that in mind. Thank you.
Also, I've got extra fire extinguishers on most corner walls. All right, man. I got to get these last folks checked in so they can get about scheming against each other. And I would expect someone to be poisoned by the end of lunch. So I got to get ready for that too.
All right. Stay safe.
Yes, sir. And he goes back to it.
So far, this place just seems real ominous. Are we supposed to, like, just listen?
Told us to learn and look for the book, right?
Yeah, I have the feeling I might actually end up being useful here, which isn't really a good thing.
Well, it sounds like nobody's phased by it, so at least their team also is prepared. I don't know. Where to next? I'm assuming we have like
You have a program. He was kind of
program
handing them
that
out.
indicates where we go.
Yeah, there's talks pretty much being constantly given throughout the day in like one of these off like main halls. There's various luncheons and meals and meetings of different committees and groups going on in the various restaurants at the hotel. There's a networking event in the lounge, and there is a demonstration event going on in the back green where they play croquet.
Do any of these have anything to do with books?
Not that you can tell.
Do any of them have anything to do with dragons?
Not that you can tell. But I guess the answer to both would probably be maybe. You never know with guys like this.
Is it like there are multiple events going on at once?
Yes.
Okay.
It's all concurrent.
Is this something where we should split up and try to cover more ground, or stick together and safety in numbers it?
After talking to the head of security, I don't think we should split up. I don't see a problem with bouncing around from event to event because we don't really care about the actual topic. We're just trying to find out where the book is.
Well, maybe the mingling event? See how many people we can meet?
I don't think it hurts to get to know people.
You guys
So-
going? Okay. You guys going to the networking event?
Yes.
All right. You enter to uproarious cheers as you see the entire crowd just kind of like cheering and trading like money and talking excitedly as Professor Billingsley and another sort of very large muscular bodybuilding type fellow in a crew cut are having what can only be described as a very physical wrestling match in the middle of the room. You enter the room just as the good professor jumps off of one of the lounge couches with his full bulk on top of the well-muscled individual with a cry of tally ho, and a tear just goes up in the room, and people backslap, trade money, laugh. Everybody is having a great time. There's like 20 people in here.
What is happening?
It would appear to be some sort of impromptu event in which physical combat or fisticuffs has been engaged in between these two.
Thank you, narrator.
Sorry, that was a player question. Pardon.
That's fine. I'm
I'm sitting there going like, wow, I thought that was pretty obvious. I'm just gonna carry on.
Is there, so looking around the room, is there anybody who looks like they might just know where illicit magic books are? I don't.
You have wandered into what appears to be a cross section of the privileged moneyed set, and I guess the only real term that could be had for it is the dude bro set.
I'm trying to focus.
This is wonderfully entertaining and a lot of bras.
I'm trying to focus on who's exchanging the most money, who has the biggest wagers going, and if I can, who's actually betting on Billingsley.
Roll sharp. Roll sharp with a +2 bonus, in fact. That's extremely savvy.
So that's a 13.
Oh, yeah. There is a very, very decided minority who is actually getting paid. And as you're sort of doing this analysis, you notice out of the corners of your eye, like Billingsley is incredibly red in the face and appears just completely sloshed, inebriated, high something. But he is beating the hell out of this dude. Just throwing him around, putting him in locks, doing various dirty things like fish hooks and filthy darts. And everybody finds it amusing. There is one guy, however, who is cleaning up. He's sort of a diminutive, bookish sort of guy in a black turtleneck he's standing by like a side table, a marble side table, and he's nursing a beer from a bottle and is just working on a stack of cash. It's actually pretty glaring. And people will walk by and notice it and make eye contact with him, and he'll either smile or frown. And if he frowns, they leave.
You girls see what's going on over there?
Oh, yeah, I can definitely do that.
Smile and frown at people?
Well, no, I mean, like, I feel like we could get him to smile at us so we can ask him what the hell's going on.
I think you have a better chance than me.
Yeah, I think you
I got it. I can do it. Rose will walk over.
He immediately sort of keys in on your approach and takes like a sort of casual drink, but his eyes never leave you once they lock on.
Hi, I'm Rose.
Felton or one of the other Ivies?
Felton.
Welcome.
Thanks. I can't help but notice you're good at this.
Oh, this is the easiest chance to make some money I get in a year. He's always here, and they always underestimate him, and that is always always to their great disadvantage. The old man can throw down.
Billingsley is nobody to mess with. I mean, he's been teaching at Felton for God knows how long now.
Yeah, and it seems like the more he drinks and the more he snorts, harder he gets to beat down. But there's always some big old beefy sumbitch who tries. I should, and he looks at his stack, should clear 20 or 30K by the time this is done. I don't think he'll get a second taker, but some years he does.
Dear God, that's a pretty hefty sum to get off a fist fight.
Yeah, well, look at him. Who would you bet on to win?
It's fair. Betting's not really my cup of tea.
No, but
this happens every year?
Yeah, he just sort of shows up. He never gets a name tag, and then he gets just sort of plastered and tries to find somebody who will talk about dragons with him, and someone inevitably says something offensive to try to get him to go away, and he challenges them to a fight and draws an audience because he talks like an absolute goon and, gathers one. It happens. And then he does this. Usually just ends with him sitting on somebody and giving him a lecture. And he nods over. Billingsley is sitting like astride this dude's chest and like tapping his finger aggressively on the dude's forehead between his eyes and is talking to him about something or another.
Interesting. Dragon seems like an interesting point of topic. Does anyone ever take him up?
I made that mistake the first time I ever came to one of these.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Don't get me wrong. Old man knows his stuff. He just doesn't stop talking.
I mean,
oh, hey, thanks, bud. And somebody comes over and just slaps a 50 into his palm, and they have a moment, and the guy walks away.
To be honest, dragons are kind of an interesting topic. Did you get anything good?
Yeah, sure. Hey, we should try this again, huh?
Try what again?
You don't have to do it this way. Not here. This whole I'm inquisitive, I'm just a student, I'm looking to talk about something interesting. So what? Dragonology student, archaeologist.
Okay.
You just go ahead and ask.
That's fair. Nothing of the sort. I am interested in dragons, but
yeah. No, obviously you came into the room to ask questions.
Well, yeah, I'm new here. This whole thing is a trip, honestly.
That's fascinating. And here's a question for you, new girl. Why'd you come over and talk to me?
You seem like you know what you're doing.
And yet. Fascinating. So tell me, did you feel a tickle in your mind, or did you smell acetone? Any of it?
No, I don't think so. You just have a huge whopping stack of cash and seem to be the only one profiting in here.
Fascinating. All right, let me ask you a question. In a room this big, with a bunch of drunk people having fun, do you find it odd that not a single person has tried to leave or short me on a bet?
Not really. It seems like it's highly dangerous to short a mage on a bet.
Well, they wouldn't do it even if they wanted to.
So you're manipulating them?
Oh, yeah.
Interesting. Do you manipulate Billingsley into fighting every year?
You know, I was worried I did for the first couple, but I'm pretty sure no, he just does this. I might be manipulating him into being this particularly vicious about it, though. And he points back over, and Billingsley has applied some sort of lock, and the guy is just screaming for him to let him up, and Billingsley is calling him a whippersnapper.
I don't suppose I could get you to not do that.
Why would I stop? I've got about $4,000 outstanding.
Fair, I guess. Not really one for fisticuffs, I guess.
No, but he is, isn't he?
I guess that's his choice.
No, you know who I mean.
I don't know if I do.
Whoever it is protecting you from me. He likes to fight, doesn't he?
I think I'm confused. Are you talking about the guy I came in with?
I'm trying to press what I can do on you right now, just for shits and giggles.
Not
But there's a
cool.
wall around your mind.
Super not cool.
Do you know where you are? There's a wall around your mind. I can kind of get an outline around who put it there or who it is, maybe?
Hmm.
Fascinating. You've got some real mojo.
Cool. Well, yeah, if you don't want to talk about dragons, I think I'm going to go back to my group.
Do you know if you want to learn more about dragons and you don't want to tolerate the rantings and ravings of a high as a kite professor, you should talk to the guy who organizes this thing.
Got a name?
Well, yeah. He's the manager of this resort.
Let's pretend I can't afford this resort in any way. So who am I looking for?
You go to the front desk, you ask for Max. Max's interest in the esoteric arts is historical, archaeological. He's a great drinking buddy. If you're looking for information of that kind of sort, he's probably the place you want to look to first. Or you can wait until the big guy is done administering this ass whooping, but I promise you his knowledge is a lot more theoretical than practical.
Fair enough. Well, thank you.
Who are you here with?
I'm here with some friends.
I mean, what sanctum? What coven? Church? Cult?
The church.
Which one?
St. Mary's.
Oh, the Catholics. Got it. Okay, so you're one of the good guys. Fascinating. A little boring, but fascinating. All right, you'll be all right.
Cool.
I would imagine someone's going to try to recruit you by the end of the weekend, though. Be ready for that.
Recruit as in?
Strength in numbers. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
Rose.
Rose. Well, strength in numbers, Rose. But let me just say, if you want to learn how to do stuff like I'm doing in here right now, manipulating pretenders, manipulating feelings, conjuring attitudes.
To be totally honest, I would never want to take away somebody's free will.
Ooh, a heroic type.
Just not an ass.
Is that what you think this is? Overriding people's free will?
Kind of. It's demented. You can't just tell someone what to do and then they have to do it.
Oh, they don't have to. They want to.
But you make them want to, don't you?
I make that voice that tells them they shouldn't go silent. It is a subtle difference, but an important one. See, if I wanted to mind control the entire room, I'd have to be something completely different. I'd have to be Jason Grayson or some shit, and I'm just not. What I do is I make them not want to screw me, not want to leave, not worry about spending money and having fun. That, Rose, is something that I would imagine on the magical side of things you'd be very good at. So I'd keep it in mind.
Thanks for the advice. I'm gonna go, but you have fun.
Oh, I'll have plenty of fun, and I'm sure I'll see you soon.
She's just gonna go. I do not like that gentleman. He's not cool.
As you walk back to the group, Nigel realizes that the gentleman he's been just bullying the shit out of has lost consciousness and staggers to his feet to raucous cheers and backslaps.
So we're looking for Max. He apparently owns the place, and if anyone knew about dragons, it'd be him.
Max Templeton.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's the
Did
guy.
a little research on him.
And this guy is manipulating the whole room into doing more or less what he wants. So we should probably go.
Ow, he's a con man.
Yeah. It's good times.
It's a useful skill.
Edith, roll sharp and cool, and tell me what the lowest is.
Sharp is 7.
Probably going to be that one.
Cool. Cool is 6.
Okay, so 6. You notice that the guy with the money, his eyes never really left Rose as she rejoins the group. And then he starts looking at you, and you just feel this really strong compulsion to go talk to him.
Okay, and I just do it.
What are
I
you
take
doing?
her by the hand and drag her out of the room.
You really want to go talk to him. You do not want to be drug out of the room.
Okay, hold on. I heard what she said. He's doing mind things, but I don't know. I can be a guinea pig. It's fine.
Well, I don't love that plan. He seems
You know
really
We're leaving
awful.
now.
Edith,
Yeah,
you really find yourself not caring whether they love the plan or not. You really want to talk to this guy.
I'm going to talk to him. You can either wait here and watch, or you can go and I'll meet you.
You are leaving with me, either walking or me carrying you. You can choose.
Oh,
right
so
now.
now
She's
who's
just gonna like glare at the guy behind Edith. She's like, you stop it. Stop that shit right now.
Now who's manipulating who? You might be pressing on my mind, but you're going to what? Pick me up and carry me out?
No.
Yes,
Yeah. Uh-huh. No.
because your father isn't here.
Roll tough.
Me?
No, Mike, roll tough.
13.
You hear it, luckily, like to the side of you. Let the lady go, and sort of turn towards the voice as another one of like the big muscly jocks takes a swing at you. You block it and take no harm, but it's powerful enough to sort of knock you back into the crowd. And the dude rushes you, and the crowd cheers because it has another fight.
Oh my God, no. Ugh.
And Edith, you really want to take this opportunity to go talk to this guy now.
I just go.
And Mike, it is your turn first.
Let's see. Okay, so that's a 13.
Okay, what do you want to do to this dude?
I'm going to hit him as hard as I can.
All right.
That's 4 harm.
Yeah. You hit the dude with just the perfect cross. Like you're pissed, and frankly, if you're being honest with yourself, a little bit like miffed at how dare this guy? Like how dare this guy? How dare this dude step to me? And you just drill him as hard as you can in the face, and you feel the impact go through your knuckles and up your arm like a tuning fork, and you feel the crunch. You're pretty sure you broke his nose and possibly took a tooth with him. And the guy keeps coming, and that's weird. He swings again, and you block it again. But this time it's powerful enough that you actually, like, you sustain 1 harm. You feel it through your arms, and you also feel a crunch. This dude just hits you hard enough to break his hand, and he doesn't seem to care.
Okay.
And
So
eat it.
I'm wearing soft body armor, and I can reduce harm by 1, so I reduced by 2.
In a fist fight to the head, a shot to the head, body armor wouldn't help you. 1 harm.
Well, even I have a ability that lets me reduce everything by 1 harm. So
Okay, sure. You just kind of absorb it. But the notable factor on that is that dude, he throws at literally as hard and harder than his musculature his skeletal structure can withstand. And he doesn't even blink when you feel his hand crumble, like as the shot hits your elbow and sort of further knocks you into the center of the room as people form a circle around you. Edith.
I am making my compelled way over to the con man.
And you're not really so much compelled as just you really want to talk to the guy. Mm-hmm. And you don't really have a voice in your head right now. It says it's a bad idea. And he smirks at you and offers sort of a spot next to him, like moves over closer to his table. So what's your story?
I hate magic, but I have it. And now I have to be here because this is the only job I can do.
I get it. See, that's interesting. So if you hate it and this is the only job you can do, well, you either don't want anything to do with it or you want to become as good at it as you possibly can, right?
Oh, I would love to get it gone. I don't really see that happening, but you know.
Well, it can't happen. You've opened your third eye, as it were. It never closes again.
Well, that's a shame. So
No, it's not. Think about it. Think about what you can do now. You might not be able to shut it and get ignorant, but you can make your life anything you want it to be.
Yeah, well, I keep getting drawn into weird situations like this, which I'm observing my friend over there getting his ass beat because he was trying to help me out. I have a feeling that's also your fault.
Oh, so, he's not getting his ass beat. I'm about to make some money on him.
Yeah, getting his ass beat.
That'll be fine. He's a big dude, throws a mean right hand. I just wanted some time to chat with you, and he wasn't going to allow it to happen, so I gave him a problem to solve. You dig?
Yes. No, I understand. I see what you're doing. Is this all you do?
No, I just want to know what your story is. You got Miss Paladin over there, super talented, some kind of strong influence protecting her from me, but no, I'm too righteous to learn the gray arts. And then you got this guy who I guarantee has cut somebody's throat in a foreign country before. And then we've got you who seems to, I'm just going to come right out and say it, be a lot more like us than the other two. And I'm just curious what your story is.
I don't like bullies. I would like the world to be normal and maybe for children to be able to just grow up as children.
I didn't ask what your personality was there. I asked what your story was. You want the magic removed. It doesn't work that way. Who taught you and why do you regret it?
Nobody taught me. I died and God brought me back to life. So now, boom! It's great.
Oh, sponsored magic. Nifty.
No, it actually is very painful and really, really unwieldy.
So you say you came back, huh?
Yeah.
I really want you to tell me how you did that.
Well, as far as I can tell, he did it. So, you know.
Who is he?
Do I have any ability to not tell him? Am I just...
You rolled a 6. Yeah. No.
He called himself the Shattered King. I'm pretty sure he was a Fey Lord of some kind. And we may have even just been speaking with like a sliver of his personality.
And he gave you boons?
He gave me life. And
if you were in trouble, would he come help?
Probably not.
Oh, that's a shame. And suddenly you feel the hold sort of on your inhibitions weaken. Well, it's worth a shot.
Yeah, is it? And I just slap him.
You hit about as hard as I would have expected. Now, go collect your friend before I have the whole crowd mob you.
All of this power, and you're just playing dumb frat boys.
Yes. Because I want to play dumb frat boys, and I can do whatever the hell I want.
Well, let's just say the universe is probably better off with you playing for small potatoes.
Oh.
Go back to the group.
You think you're scathing. Bye. Mike, you're squaring off with the dude again, and then he just, oh, shit, with his hand, and oh, with his face. and he just staggers away from you, suddenly like really unnerved and like holding up his hand going, shit, never mind. I'm sorry. Don't.
We're good.
I thought you were hurting her. I thought she didn't want to go with you, man. I didn't. Oh.
Do I see Edith walking back?
Yep.
Edith, come on, let's get out of here. Come on,
As
Edith.
you leave, the gentleman in the corner just waves.
I just give him a hard stare.
He laughs. As you walk out, Mike, you make eye contact with the guy at the front registering people as he cleans up his table, and he just gives you a knowing look.
That guy is awful. Are you okay, Mike?
I may have told him like all the things, and also he brought up an interesting fact about would the Shattered King come and save us if we were in trouble, which is potentially a useful thing to not tell people.
Oh, yeah, I hate that because he was asking a lot of questions about Tom.
You might have confused him. Did you tell him about the exact nature of what? Well, we don't really understand it ourselves, so
We don't.
What we told him probably confused him.
I'm just imagining, just thinking off the top of my head, extemporaneously here, we're in the company of a bunch of loosely moraled super wizards who might just want an audience with the Shattered King. And if they think that putting us in thumbscrews is going to get that, that puts a nice little target on our back for no good reason.
Yeah, I feel like we might have already made an enemy in the first 15 minutes of this thing.
You guys noticed the security guys sort of wandered over and was sort of half eavesdropping, but Mike, you can tell he's looking to sort of talk to you.
Hang on, girls.
You came out of the lounge?
Yeah, there's the I don't know his name, the guy who's kind of organizes.
Jerry's holding court in there, huh?
Yeah.
Has anybody put somebody in an ambulance yet?
I don't think so. One guy came at me and didn't go so well for him,
but right on. Are your girls okay?
Yeah, he didn't touch them, but
I just wanted to give you one piece of quick advice since I saw you coming out of there in a hurry.
Sure.
There are maybe 3 or 4 people you just want to stay away from this weekend, right? Jerry is one of them, all right?
Okay.
He ain't as young as he looks. He can't be because he's looked the same from what I'm told, like 9 years. And he's here for one reason, and that's to learn things that other people don't want him to know. You don't want that guy taking an interest in you. He's strong, and he's a complete freaking psychopath, dig?
Got it. You don't know if he can actually disguise himself at all, do you?
Let me put it this way. I don't know too much about all this stuff, but I try to like inquire as to the different types of things I need to look out for. And I'm told that the kind of magic that dude finds interesting is the sort that messes with people's heads. So disguise himself, I don't know. Disguise himself to your eyes, your senses maybe. Wouldn't put it past him.
All right. Thanks.
I just know that, listen, man, like 2 years ago, he was coming on to some chick and she didn't like it very much, right? And he didn't like being rejected, so he reprogrammed her, dude. She wakes up the next morning screaming about seeing various ghosts and specters and shit and coming completely unglued. Totally different person in just a matter of hours. Troubled, damaged, traumatized. And he claims innocence, right? But I freaking know better.
Yeah.
That
But
dude
nothing
is
can
the
prove it
king
corporal.
of the mind screw. And I'm worried about him this year. Put it this way, I don't want him to learn what the keynote has to teach. It's the last thing we need.
What's the keynote? I didn't look at the program yet.
That dude who's given that talk about how he supposedly figured out how to replicate Jason Grayson's research or something.
Oh,
Something about how he can limit the magical madness. Well, I don't know a lot about the magical madness, bro, but I know that I want that to be a barrier between psychos like that and getting more power, right?
yeah.
Friggin' sucks. And, well, that's your job, right?
Yeah.
Every year, man, church or somebody sends somebody like you to stop the worst case from happening. And I'll just tell you in advance, I didn't see it. Okay?
Got it. Thank you.
Be well. Protect them from him. I ain't the last time he comes at him, I promise. He walks off.
Next.
Let's go check out our hotel room real quick. And
Our hotel room.
are we? I thought we got. They booked us rooms. Yeah.
Right, yeah. But stuff is happening down here.
We'll just be there for 10 minutes. Get settled in. Check our bags.
Okay.
Go to the front desk.
Find that Max guy.
Are you going to the front desk?
Yeah.
Well, you find him. There's a guy with a Maxwell name tag who is helping people get checked in.
Hello.
Hi, attendees reservation. Are you in the block or independent?
So many reservations.
Well said.
Yeah, but we're looking to get our room, and then actually we were told to maybe chat with you here in a little while when you're not busy, of course.
And all of a sudden you can see like his walls go up.
Oh, nothing crazy, promise. Just curiosity.
Yeah, they all say that.
Yeah, actually, we just needed like extra towels in our room, and we were told that you run this place, so we needed to talk to you about it.
I love Edith. She's like, nope, we're backtracking.
He just looks at her and goes, "Uh-huh." Who are you shaking me down on behalf of exactly?
Oh, definitely not that. We're just interested in ancient type problems, and you seem like you're also interested in, oh my god, can I just say it? We're around magic people. We want to talk about dragons.
Oh. You could see him kind of relax a little bit. Oh, okay. Man, that's weird.
Why?
It's just kind of seems like everybody wants to talk about dragons these days.
Who else wants to talk about dragons?
Gosh, so many people. I've talked about, oh man, like 8 or 9 practitioners today who just wondering what I know. I've got kind of a reputation amongst this sort for what I studied in school and my graduate fellowship.
Which was?
Did archaeology at Felton before I decided I liked to make money.
That seems fair.
Yeah, no, there wasn't a lot of money in that, particularly when I was trying to find bones of monsters that didn't exist.
All the best treasure has already been looted by the British, so, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I went over there and I looked at a lot of their museums, and they sure don't have dragon bones, so.
Not in their museum, they don't. They have to have dragon bones somewhere.
Yeah, well, they don't really show that to a guy like me. Hey, he looks up in the computer and makes some keys and just turns to someone next. Hey, Alicia, I'm going to take a break, okay, real quick. I'm going to show these folks up to their room. This is their first year, and they seem a little overwhelmed. Yeah, no, right on, I'll be right back. And he kind of signals you to come with him. towards the elevator bank.
We follow.
Yep.
So you came to this gathering to learn about archaeological stuff?
To be totally honest, we came to just learn, I think.
Oh, that's brave.
Is it?
We, in fairness, didn't realize that there was going to be like wizards actually like trying to murder each other in the hallway.
I kind of just thought it would be like a lesson plan sort of thing.
Yeah, it used to be. I wasn't here, of course, but my dad used to come to these things, and the stories used to tell me how it used to be. Just this great sharing of knowledge, super open. I don't really think it's like that anymore. I'm sorry. No one here gives anything without some kind of trade first.
Well, what changed?
Now, the big guy came, only attended 2 years in a row and managed to wreck frickin' everything.
Let me guess. Aiden Jason. Jason Grayson.
That's the one. Mr. I don't know what ethics means.
Yeah, he ruins everything.
He's not wandering around this year, is he?
No. He hasn't attended for a long time, and no one really knows what's up with him at any given point anyway. He's I mean, you guys should know this unless you're that new.
Let's guess that we're that new.
That what, he's dead?
No, I'm not certain that guy can be killed. Nah, he rolled in here with a whole bunch of research that kind of set the entire world on its head, and the opinions surrounding that research were like 90% let's kill him, burn his corpse, and salt the earth with the dust from his bones, and 10%, oh, that's interesting. And he was smart enough not to stick around and let the 90% take their shot. But some of the stuff he presented in his couple of years here, wild stuff.
Shame you guys. Go ahead.
What are the thoughts on this year's keynote speaker? I understand he thinks he's refined Grayson's theories and perfected them.
Yeah. So before Jason got controversial, right? His first sort of research project that he published and presented was on himself. So no one really cared how incredibly problematic it was. He was being kind of like a cocky little shit, we all thought. And he said, the reason I'm so powerful is because of the way my brain is wired. I don't get the magic madness. I can learn anything I want. I can research as aggressively as I want. I can read any book I want, and I just don't come unglued. And everybody went like, "Oh, okay, great. We're gonna sit through a neurology panel, right?" And no one paid attention, and no one really believed that he was as good as he said he was, right? So he challenges one of the oldest and most venerable guys here to a wizard's duel, so people would take him seriously. And that wizard's duel lasted about 3 seconds. And this place hasn't been the same since.
What, did he kill him?
Well, I'm imagining it's probably pretty difficult to survive a literal black hole, which is where he put the guy with a snap of his fingers. Here, before I take you up, come here. And he walks through the other end of the elevator bank to sort of like windows facing the back lot of the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
See over there? Look at the tree line. And he points to a copse of trees where there is just kind of one place where there is nothing. Like no trees, just lawn. That's where he did it. And he literally landscaped the place, completely leveled it. There were sections of mountain in there, and he just reality and the guy he was fighting just gone in a wink. And then we believed him that he was as good as he said. And then everybody was super interested in how that was possible. But then he disappeared because everybody wanted to kill him.
And you guys didn't notice the part where he did actually go crazy and tried to go, break the world?
Did he? Right here.
Why do you guys not know this?
Do I look like a cop?
No, I guess I just assumed that, like, somebody would tell somebody and word would get around.
We don't police ourselves.
That
That's
is very clear.
Well, nobody wants to die. Nobody wants to. Listen, there are fates worse than death. Did you not know that?
Oh no, we're well aware.
Yeah. You guys want to maybe watch who you mess with that kind of like superhero attitude.
Oh no, it's not a
Folks
superhero
are
attitude.
not pleasant, and they're pretty fickle, and they're pretty aggressive. And since the Grayson year, they don't really hesitate to do whatever they want here anymore. It's like he broke the truce, and everybody found out that nuclear deterrent doesn't mean much if it doesn't actually end the world.
Couldn't we just bomb the whole place?
You could try.
I mean, and you could get like the insurance money and just start a new place. Mike, how much C4 would we need?
Did the church tell you guys anything?
No, not
You
really.
can't just take a building down like you see in the movies. That takes a whole bunch of explosives, not C4 either. You want something a little bit lower RE, but
Okay, so we can
Yeah.
Tell Edith how to do it.
You know, the first time the church attended this, they didn't send just guests like you, right?
What did they send, like a Monsignor or something?
No, they sent a kill squad.
Kind of surprised they weren't invited again.
No, wizard politics. Of course, they were invited again.
What, the wizards are worried they're missing out on the latest
I'm like,
prayer technology?
this
No,
really
they're-
seems like fairy politics, like made up and
They-
no real rules.
they
Guys,
don't want to make an enemy of the church directly.
No, and they're also rubbing your nose in it, man. Everything you've done other than just attend and fact find has ended with some awful stuff happening to your people. They know that you know that, and you're welcome to come if you play by the rules. It's a power play.
I'm so happy I just work for these people. That's embarrassing.
What are you guys here for?
Shits and giggles.
They didn't tell you anything, and now I'm kind of worried about you.
We'll be fine.
Can we just be like honest for a second?
Yes.
We're looking for a book.
Well, that's kind of a bit like finding hay in a haystack.
It's a real specific book. So it's like finding green hay in a haystack.
So it's okay.
Book about dragons. You're aware of what's going on with the dragon kind right now?
Yeah, I had an inkling.
They're coming back! Surprise! What? What do you mean? Sheesh.
That is not universal knowledge, and you don't want to spread that around.
Let's get to our room. I'm going to set up a couple devices so it'll be hard to listen to us, at least.
Yeah, no, of course. And okay, if that's what you're after, fair enough. I'm here to help. It's
Thank you.
actually extremely comforting that the church is getting proactive about this. Let's go.
Cool. We follow.
All right. So I booked you guys on the top floor end of the hallway. Now, that makes the only easy egress the window, but it means that you have that egress and there's really nothing standing in your way for it. It's also our most defensible room. Also, it's a room lined up with the cornerstone pillar. Therefore, the wards are the strongest.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, you're welcome. Trust me. Once you guys get settled in here, I would expect somebody will try to break in before the end of the first night. But if you can somehow thwart it or pretend that's a bad idea, you should manage to form some kind of barrier of deterrence.
Okay. I mean, we don't have anything, so they can come in here.
All right. Have you pissed anyone off yet?
What?
No offense. I can just kind of tell from your personality that the answer is probably yes.
Okay, pissing off seems like a really strong term. We didn't get off on a great foot with the gentleman running the bets.
Gentleman is a very strong, generous word.
I'm
Jerry?
trying to be very nice about him.
Yeah, you don't need to be nice about Jerry. Jerry's a creep. But not a great guy to have mad at you.
Well, there was really nothing to do about that.
Well, we put it this way: we try to play by at least the basic rules of decorum. But if you catch him running around your room, big guy, do us all a favor and waste that son of a bitch, huh?
He likes to rearrange people's brains. I'm gonna do the same for him.
Oh, I like you guys.
Do you have like an Alexa that we could set up that could just like do it? So in case he starts rearranging your brain, it still happens?
Okay, that's a dangerous question.
Why is that a dangerous question? It is a purely technological question. These people are all magic. I feel like we should use some of our strengths in the fact that Mike knows all about technology. And I'm assuming these people don't, because magic doesn't affect electronics the same way it affects a brain.
Yeah, no, you can go ahead. Just leave me out of it.
Maybe I wasn't clear. When I said rearrange his brain, I meant the 9mm.
I was hoping, yeah, I was thinking like a Glock brain rearrange.
And I was saying we need a robot that is autonomous from you, that you can give a command to be like, boom, there's got to be some sort of automatic thing.
An autonomous kill robot. What could go wrong?
No.
I wonder sometimes if you hear your plans, Edith.
I have my plan. We are in a hotel with murderous wizards. Okay?
I just feel like building a murder robot to live in our room feels like a really easy way for us to get murdered.
I was suggesting that we build it. I was asking Mike if he had one because he has everything else.
I don't know that it's better that there would be a pre-built murder robot.
He has everything else, okay?
I don't really like drones. I like having my finger on the kill switch myself.
Well, I think this is my official vote. We need a drone.
No, I don't like armed drones.
It's good for you guys. So here's your accommodations. Sweet layout, 3 bedrooms. Here's your keys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, of course, guys.
Who's been asking about dragons? Anybody interested in trying to get a dragon book? We are looking for that. It could help us maybe not have dragons declare war on humankind.
To be honest, a whole bunch of folks here have been asking about that sort of thing. The professor has been eating that stuff up.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm tired. It's been a long day. I'm feeling kind of.
One does not feel tired in your chest. What is happening, sir?
I feel his radial pulse.
I don't. It's humming like.
Why don't you go and sit down, Rose? Why don't you call 911?
Yeah, something's wrong. Maybe I feel sort of, and then he just kind of.
Oh my god.
Oh. And the vein on his temple, his right temple, explodes and sprays the wall with a very large and fine coat of blood, and he collapses in the heat.
Mike, this is why we need a drone.
I'm going to try do combat medic, see if there's any chance of...
Dead.
All right, yeah.
Only make you roll. Dead.
Okay.
Like, it's a good thing we didn't wait to talk to Max. Do we think Max lives at the hotel?
What are we going to do about that?
Well, you're got 911 on the phone right now. Tell them,
Oh,
send an
she like
ambulance.
put that on mute. She wasn't about to confess to a dead man in her hotel room.
We didn't explode his vein out of
Clearly, his
this
brain
is-
exploded from the inside. We didn't do this.
Hello?
Michael will start.
Okay, that's a 12. No, sorry, 11.
You smell like ozone or burning.
This
Did he give us a crap room? Is our room
No.
infested with spells already?
No, this was a target at him. Somebody was trying to murder him.
Are we sure?
I'm pretty sure.
It's our room.
It's like acrid, and it's coming off of him.
We should get out of here.
I'm gonna open up his collar to, make it look like I'm trying to make it easier for him to breathe. Look for any sort of marks or anything.
As you're kind of messing with his, you rolled high enough, yeah. As he's sort of messing with his collar, and you're there in the upper body, you notice like just wisps, barely detectable as smoke from like his breast pocket, and you reach in and you pull out just a card, and it has sort of a seal on it, like an embossed seal. It is an extremely complicated sort of design, and it is very lightly smoking and smells awful.
Can I
And the
take a
longer
picture
you
real quick?
hold it, the more your fingers start to sting.
I would like
Set-
a Google image search of this thing.
Get a picture of it in case it burns away. Set it down.
Roll for cool.
Oh my goodness, what the heck? 7.
You take the picture, but as you're kind of you're trying to like frame it up, you feel your phone getting hot, and you don't react quick enough. The screen goes black and the phone starts to spark and smoke.
Cool.
Do we get a good enough look at it to describe it?
Do you keep holding on to it?
No, I set it down.
Okay, good. No, the phone.
Do I set the phone down? Yeah, the phone is.
Okay, I'll give you that. No, the battery goes into full meltdown and it starts to smoke like violently.
I gingerly pick it up by the pop socket on the back and I plop it in the sink.
Yeah, right. Sure. I won't make you take lithium ion meltdown harm. I'm not that mean.
On the card,
It did see.
on the card, did we get a look at the seal before?
I feel sure.
Oh, you got a good look at it before it burnt away, but you couldn't get a picture, and trying wrecked the phone.
We'll remember this, but this is great. Now none of us have phones except for Rose.
Who, let's be fair, is probably the best user of them amongst your crew. So
We
I
use
am-
our phones to communicate frequently, sir.
I have extra phones in my bag. He always has other phones. I'm gonna draw a replica what I can of the symbol while I have it in my head. It's fresh.
roll for cool.
That's a 12. No,
You-
12.
You make a good replica. Not a perfect one, but you feel like it's good enough that if you showed someone who knew what they were looking at, they'd get it.
Okay. I'm going to take a picture of that, send it to my church contacts, see if they can track down anything. Tell them I'm using a burner phone now.
Got it.
Give Edith a burner phone.
They text back within like seconds telling you like stand by, looking.
That's probably not good. They know what it is already.
What do we do
What they're
about
concerned
all
about. Well, first we have the paramedics come and take him away. Talk to the hotel staff. That you play up the angle that you are traumatized by his death and want to talk to the staff. And
It's not an angle. I am. We can.
well, but yeah, what I'm saying, not that you're pretending, but
Right.
lead into that. See if you can, if he's here, you want to get some closure. See if he has a room. You can go to his room, anything like that. Talk to anybody who was. See if they recognize somebody who talked to him earlier in the day.
Okay.
I'm sure Deacon
Maybe
Dalton's going to come talk to us.
you could talk to that security guy, see if he knows anything about it.
Yeah.
So wait, now we're splitting up?
Not if we don't have to.
In the same area, just not talking to the same people.
What do you do first?
First thing, give everybody a button cam to wear, including myself. And they all have links on their phones they can watch. And that Jerry guy, you might not realize you're talking to him.
When you withdraw, like when you take your cameras out of their cases and whatnot, you feel like kind of a static shock when you touch them.
Are they working still, or do they get fried?
They are not.
All right.
I see the flaw in my drone plan.
Besides the autonomous murder bot, it's not that it might just go off and kill people at random. It's the fact that it might.
Well, now
not
it could
work.
explode, okay? And that's even worse.
You have a suicide auto drone bot.
Do you want to talk to hotel staff with me or go with Mike to handle the security side of this?
You're not going anywhere by yourself.
No, I think we're both in the lobby, just talking to different people.
Oh. I'll come talk to hotel staff, I guess. Still.
Okay.
So down to the lobby.
We're going to wait for the paramedics to show up. Don't want to leave the dead body.
Yeah, yes.
How long do you wait?
Oh my
How
God,
long
they're
does it
not
take to
going
get
to come
there?
because this happens.
Do we have to wait?
Because if you do, it's not long before the line starts to cross from terrible response time into something's up.
I'm going to call Deacon Dalton, let him know what's going on, making sure I get out ahead of this. Because if somebody dies, you don't want to generally leave the area. It doesn't, especially in a suspicious death circumstance.
He picks up after like 3 or 4 rings. Yeah, it's down there.
So kind of bad news.
Shit.
We're at the I forget the name of this place.
Shoot, it's the 16th. I know. God, crap.
Somebody died in our room, the owner of the hotel.
Oh, God.
No violence of any sort. We were talking to him, and he had some sort of extreme cerebral vascular
Did it
incident.
take a freaking day this time?
We didn't do anything. We were just talking to the guy, and he dropped dead. Paramedics are not showing up.
You know, if it was anybody but you, how absurd that would sound. We're just talking with the guy. He drops dead at an event where somebody drops dead every freaking year.
Yeah.
God damn it. All right. Make some calls. This one always gets a little bit weird. Twin advice of watch yourself and please don't add to the body count, huh?
We're trying.
Yeah, everywhere you guys go, if the world wasn't getting saved half the freaking time, I would have to do something about you for the body count you leave behind.
But this happens every year here, so it's not different just because we're here.
You like a damn middle-aged male gardener, Mike. Everything you touch dies.
It's probably why I never took up gardening.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good thing, man. Those plants don't deserve that. What did they ever do to you? Jesus. Ugh. Okay. I'll fix it. I'll do something.
Right. Thanks, and sorry again.
Yeah, we're beyond sorries. Just do me a favor and don't create excitement. They're bad people there. I know that much.
Yeah.
Crap. He hangs up on you.
Thanks. That should at least keep us from legal trouble.
Cool.
How would we be legally liable for someone whose brain exploded in front of us?
We would still be called in for questioning.
We'd be saying like his brain exploded in front of us. Clearly, you can see that from. I'm just. That doesn't make any sense.
Rose,
It's
roll
so many
weird.
dice.
I got 9.
You've been kind of feeling something sort of pressing at the edge of your mind, but it's getting more acute. Like a headache, but not really a headache. A headache that's not painful. It's difficult to put into words, but something is pushing.
And it's not a feeling she recognizes in the sense of like when Tom would push on the bond, she can recognize that feeling.
It might feel a little something like that, but you've never felt it like this aggressive. Like usually when he does it, it's the metaphor would be a knock on the door. This would be like a SWAT team with a battering ram.
Is what's his face trying to get in your brain?
I don't know, maybe. Can I kind of reverse follow that feeling to see if I can find the source?
Roll weird again.
Better. We're at an 11.
You focus on it, try to grab hold of it, and suddenly, as if he just like apparated into being, Tom appears by the door.
Can we all see Tom?
No, just Rose.
Hey.
He's pointing at you, but sort of at like your stomach waistline area, just pointing insistently.
And she'll kind of like check her pockets and see if she's got anything.
The program.
Okay, I've got it. And she'll flip it open and kind of point it at him.
He walks over and points at a spot on the page and then disappears again.
And she'll check super quick to see what he pointed at.
There is a section, almost like fine print, at the bottom of the final page of the brochure. And the section is called Decorum. And it says, life is sacred here, even when nothing else might be. All who attend agree with steadfast principles and their own oath not to interfere with the life force, or general survivability of other attendants. Should decorum be violated, the parties that violate it will be subject to consequences stemming from the loss of the protections of decorum.
See that we've got to be worried about. Because magically exploding someone's head is absolutely a thing that people do here. This is why we need drones.
As you take in what you have just read, there is a knock on the door, and there we will take our break.
Great. I'm going to let DM go. Elle, do you have announcements, or would you guys like to take a quick actual break? And I will put our little we'll be right back side up.
I could use a quick actual break, and then we can do a couple announcements towards the end.
Cool. All right, guys. We will be back. We will be back in about 5 minutes, and we will do some brief announcements at the end. And yeah, we'll be right back. Thanks so much. Boop, boop, boo. Boop, boop, boo. Pound the last word. Hello. There we go.
Hey, welcome back.
Cool. So we are under wizard arrest.
Yes.
There's where we left. If we're going right back at it without news or announcements from folks, is a knock on the door.
Can we get out the window?
Let's
Answer
go.
the door.
We've done nothing wrong.
Yeah, that is not what they are going to see, but sure, you guys go answer the door.
I'm gonna go look at the people first.
Yeah, I don't want to be the one who does it. I'm scared.
When you look at the peephole, you don't see anything. Just hallway.
You're joking.
So much worse.
Okay.
I'm gonna put the latch on, have my foot planted in front of the door, and just open it crack.
There's like resistance. Not so much of it that you can't move it, but there's resistance, like you're pushing against something or someone.
Wait a minute. So if he because usually those doors open in. So is something preventing him from opening the door?
Nope. This one opens out, and
Okay.
there's resistance.
Okay.
Hello?
Is there a body? Mike, look at the ground. Is there anything on the ground? Dylan, is there anything on the
Look at the ground and sort of like the little crack that you've made through your pushing. You don't see anything, but the resistance is still there.
If we put our hand out, I put
We're
okay,
not putting our hand out.
I take a pen from the nightstand and stick the pen out the door.
It goes out the door.
There's no resistance.
Nope.
Throw it out the door down the hall. Does it get out?
Tink, tink, tink. Roll down the hall.
Can I try to sense weird?
Go for it.
Okay.
I don't think you really need to roll for it right now. This is pretty weird.
Okay. I got a 9, which means that if there is something weird, I sense it, but it also could sense that I sensed it.
You sense blood.
Oh, don't love that.
And you've only had one experience sensing it, and that's the magical power of it.
Wait, what?
The magical power of it. I don't know that I understand that one.
You've had experience sensing the power that can come from blood, the power that can come from death.
Okay. I would like to use the sight, which says you can see invisible. You can see the invisible.
It's about time you use that move. Right on. I thought you'd forgotten you had it.
I didn't, but Edith doesn't like it because it gives her a headache.
What do you use this side on?
I would like to use the sight first at the hallway and through the peephole, and then at the body.
Peephole, nothing. But through the door, there's a body.
Invisible dead body, guys. But I mean, in fairness, it died outside our door, so.
I don't know if that's better.
So
I go ahead and push the door all the way open.
yeah, I was gonna say, I vote we bring it inside.
And
there's force, but when you press hard enough, you finally feel like you get something to tumble, and the body slumps into view.
is it visible now?
Oh, it was always visible. It was just propped up against the door.
Huh.
So I
Do we
didn't need my
recognize
sight.
it?
I didn't need my sight.
I mean, you guys can either factor for basic physics or not. Mike does, so.
That's why I was. That's why I specifically said, look down.
No, you were practicing metaphysics, and it was a good exercise. If there had been some kind of word or something, you'd discovered it.
I was looking forward to using your makeup powder to get a look at the guy's face with the invisible dead body. But
Nope, it's just a slumping figure.
Anybody
Do we
we
know who it
recognize?
is?
Do you pull it in?
Yes.
Well, first let's look at it outside the
Let's
thing.
bring it in so nobody's walking down the door and is like, hey guys, why are you bending over a dead body?
Yeah, let's have them walking us, dragging into our room. That's much better.
Oh my God, can we pull him in and look at his face at the same time?
The closed door is my vote. That's why. I pull it in.
I have plenty of time to look at it while she's pulling it in. I'm watching.
It is. You don't see it. Like there's nobody who really comes out. Nobody who sees. It's clearly not like a terribly well booked floor. But when you pull him in, you see who it is immediately. It's Jerry from downstairs. He has a knife buried in his heart to the hilt, and with it, a piece of paper.
Oh God, what does the note say?
What happened to owls? What happened to owls, people?
I'm gonna
What
put
is
on gloves before we, try to get fingerprints off this before we ruin any evidence, hoping that these wizards don't concern themselves with mundane crime fighting methods and dust it for prints. And
All right, you remove the sheet of paper.
And
Yep.
could we read it?
Mm-hmm.
What does it
They'll
say?
blame you.
Yeah. Thank you, genius. Yes, they'll blame us. Do we
In
recognize the
big
handwriting?
in big block letters, and
Okay.
it's not handwritten; it's typed. You would imagine between size 48 and 60 Times New Roman.
Okay. I would like to gently place my hand, not my fingertips, just my palm of my hand on the pommel of the dagger.
Mm-hmm.
Use tune in. Can I use tune into something that I don't know specifically?
Not technically, but I'll let you roll weird, and we'll see what you can figure out. Like maybe I can give you something.
Okay. All right. We're using different dice. One different dice. Oh my freaking gosh! What was a 6?
Yeah. You try to tune into the dagger, and it hurts, and you yank your hand away. It's like your brain touched a stove.
Guys, I think it knows we're here, but I think it already knew we were here, so.
anything you remark about the dagger?
It's like a really well-made knife. It's not like an antique or whatever. It's modern, extremely well constructed, like a Bowie knife you might find in a mall sword store, but really well made.
And it was driven into his chest to the hilt.
One thrust. So clean and so powerful that there's actually not a lot of external bleeding. There's some. The paper's stained, but there's no gush, which as you would know, means.
In fairness, a terrible person.
Yeah.
I don't feel bad about this one.
I don't either, but whoever did this used a lot of force. So either he's big and physical, or he's able to use magic to drive the blade in. But this wasn't. If it wasn't magical, it wasn't somebody who's 150 pounds, who's a big dude, or someone who can use magic, or both. Too bad we're in a hotel full of wizards.
Okay. So, Mike, if you were to store dead bodies, where would you put them?
Why do we? They're already coming up to grab one dead body. I just gotta call
Are they coming though? Are they coming?
somebody. I gotta make a phone call.
We do need to tell your boss about the. Okay, have fun. Tell him.
Not just my boss. He's our boss. Why don't you make the phone call this time?
I don't want to talk to him.
I don't either. You make a phone call.
You guys making a phone call to who? Who are you calling?
Is calling the Monsignor who we're supposed to
Call Deacon Dalt. Let him know.
that one.
Okay. Ring, ring, ring. Oh God, what now?
Okay, there's another dead body, but we didn't do this one either. But we need it to get gone.
Oh,
Paramedics aren't coming for either body. Okay, but this guy was like literally mind raping people. He was
you're a walking friggin' death trap, Edith. God.
in this trap. You put us here, and we've been hearing all morning about how
I didn't put you anywhere. Last time I talked to you, I wanted you to look at. You know
every
what?
year.
It's all
Always
good.
die. And your kill squad, the first year.
He doesn't work for the church.
He's a cop. Deacon Dalton's the detective. I've never sent you to kill anybody. What are you talking about?
Mike,
Not lecture.
I heard Deacon, okay?
What is this about kill squad?
It's just his name. It's not his title. His title's detective.
Okay.
What is this about
His name
kill
is-
squads? I want you to elaborate on the kill squads.
No, it doesn't have anything
I
to
thought
do
you
with
ran a private detective agency. I have substantially more objectives if you run a friggin' kill squad agency.
You know what? If you would like to investigate the Catholic Church for crimes against humanity, you're more than welcome to do that. Have fun with that one, by the way.
This isn't the East Coast.
I know. So you're going to want to stay in your lane. And I thought you were somebody else.
Stay in my lane.
Mike hands me the phone and
You
tells
have
me to
called
make
me
phone calls that
twice
used to be made.
reporting a murder.
What?
You have called me twice reporting a murder. This is my lane.
I've called you once.
This is Mike's phone. You know what you are an infuriating person.
I
This
told
is
Mike
why
to
I
make this phone
communicate
call.
with him.
I told Mike to make this phone call.
This you are an angering person and you frustrate me.
You know what? I am an angry person and I am frustrated. So welcome to my world.
You do not need to drag us all down with you, Edith. Now tell me about the second murder.
It was stabbed, so it's easier to deal with than the brain embolism.
Walking bloodbath. You and your crew walking
This
bloodbath.
one actually has remarkably little blood.
I don't like you. I don't enjoy you. I don't enjoy speaking to you. I don't enjoy your presence. I don't enjoy the drama you bring into my life. Has anyone ever told you that? I'm sure everybody tells you that.
You know what? A lot of people do, actually, and it just doesn't matter.
I didn't charge you back in the day. By the way, I recommended that we accept mental health treatment, and this is the thanks I get. Just call, insult me, report a murder, say that I run a death squad.
So, are you going to send someone to help us, or are we
I'm
gonna have-
working on it.
Thank you.
You realize you are over an hour out of municipal Wealdport, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so this is challenging. I mean, currently there is a dick measuring contest between State Patrol and my department. So we are trying to figure out who gets to go investigate your 2 murders in 5 minutes, your serial murder at a castle-based resort.
You know, if he doesn't get
Do
done
the
yelling,
murders, I feel like you're attacking me for doing the murders when I am specifically not doing the murders. And
Why are
it's
you
just,
always murder adjacent? Answer me that.
why what?
Why are you always murder adjacent? You apparently never do the murders, but you're always adjacent to the murders. You're adjacent to murders all the time. I have never met somebody who has been around so many murders.
Well,
I'm sending him a box of cookies with a little note that reads, "Sorry about the hard day." Just sending it to his office
It's a good
as a
idea.
surprise.
I don't know. I really don't know.
Actually, though, good point. Edith, roll charm.
So that she can make this worse?
No, you're rolling charm on a passive basis to perceive.
Oh shit. Well, that is a 13 finally.
This is not personal. Something's going on. Like he's struggling and kind of actually melting down a little bit.
All right. So I can sense that you are having a hard time. I apologize for my tone. I do not apologize for the information.
Because at this rate, this is going to be the most murders in a single day in the history of the city, Edith. I'm just a little bit friggin' stressed.
2 is the most murders in this whole city. How many murders are you dealing with?
I have gotten reports of 6 individuals on the highway dead bodies, necks broken, hearts stopped. One dude had his skull caved in, and now I'm getting a call from some posh rich person's like cigar club resort convention or something, and we're up to 2. Not 1, which is Frank most years, but 2. It's driving me insane. I don't have the manpower to deal with this. This is probably going to cost me my badge.
I'm sorry. But maybe you could start a garden.
What?
Everything I touch dies.
See if you can send us a list of their names. See if we can cross-reference to get to the hotel. See if there's any link.
Mike says we need a list of their names.
You know what? This might be my last month on the job. Fuck it. I'm going to prepare that list. I'll send it over. Tell them I'll text it to them as soon as I stop having people stare at me for yelling in the middle of the cubicle pool.
Well, you should stop yelling in the middle of the cubicle.
I'm doing the best I can. You irritate me.
I'm sorry.
You don't mean to.
I'm
I
not
know
sorry.
you don't mean to. You're just an irritating person. Has anyone ever told you like embody social violence?
That is the phrase.
You are like personal sandpaper, Edith Jameson. Just
Thank you for your help. We'll try to solve this so that you don't get fired.
thank you.
Okay, bye. So that was the police.
It didn't go as bad as it sounded like it could have gone.
No, but Mike's making the phone calls to the police from now on.
Yeah, that checks.
You just heard me talk to him 10 minutes ago. I thought you.
I'll make the next
You weren't
police
paying
call.
attention.
It'll be okay.
Do you guys actually want to try to call the church, your contact?
Literally.
Was that the intention? I would have let you retcon, except we were already on the phone. So
All Chloe Brain heard was deacon. And I was trying to piece together why we were calling a deacon at a Catholic church because I don't think they have
in
deacons.
fairness, that was an amusing encounter. So
Actually, yeah, I do want to talk to the church because I want to yell at them about kill squads.
who do you call? You've got multiple church members at this point. Who do you call?
I don't actually know who any of these church people are, so I had
The woman who's complaining that we don't have a kill robot is going to call the Catholic Church because they sent a kill
Okay.
squad at the
If you're
conference
gonna
that
call
had
the
Jason
church,
Grayson.
you should
in
call the
attendance.
guy who sent us here.
You know, at this point, I'm pretty certain there's going to be a part 3 to this adventure, and I really don't care because y'all are just producing extremely entertaining content right now.
Okay. I'm gonna defer to the better part of wisdom and let Mike make the phone call.
Edith, in full, I'm going to make things worse, and I'm going to make it other people's problem, is the hero that we deserve, not the hero we need.
Yes.
Yes, no, it's perfect. Like, icon. Just, I am still here, and I'm going to make it the universe's issue. I love it.
Cool. So we call the church. Mike calls the church because
On speaker.
Who do you call?
The contact who sent us here. 'Cause we're
Ring.
sent here.
Ring. 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 Ring.
Mike, what if your
I'm
contact?
sorry. This number has been disconnected or is no longer in service.
Mike, what if?
Please hang up and try again.
Oh my God! What if your contact is one of the people who died?
That or we could have been set up.
That's more likely with the number not being in service. I'm calling my regular contact.
Ring. 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 Hello?
Father.
Michael. Nice to hear from you. It's been a while.
This is
Yes,
not.
we are at a magical conference.
Hold on. How long has it been since you heard from us, sir?
It's been a while. I trust that you're well. Last we spoke, I know that you were fixing up that manor outside of town and dealing with that rather exuberant controversy. I believe the redheaded member of your number called it a turf war between the coffee shops.
Yes.
And you don't know where we are this weekend?
Edith, I'm terribly sorry if you're playing some sort of game. I don't know the rules.
No, nobody knows the rules. That is the problem.
I think we're being played. We were sent to a conference of wizards at the castle resort outside of town.
Oh, yes. The exchange of knowledge. Yes, I'm aware. That is today. That is this week, isn't it?
Were we supposed to be sent here? Is that
Michael, I don't send people there anymore. That was an unfortunate mistake we made years ago. I would never do it again.
Cool, because 2 people are dead.
Of course they are.
we didn't kill either one of them? If that
I
be better.
believe you. I trust at this juncture that you are a group of individuals who kill only those who force them. But
This one guy was working towards that, so but
that's a
we
problem.
didn't get there yet.
So you're attending the exchange of knowledge and 2 people are dead. Let me guess, the bodies are in your immediate vicinity.
Yes.
You might want to try to keep that knowledge from as many people as you can, Michael.
Well, we're kind of sitting ducks up here because there's rules here.
Of course there are. See, the exchange of knowledge is a conference of individuals that the church would characterize as dark mages. They don't much care for one another, but they sure do enjoy when war has been declared.
Has war been declared recently?
I think, Michael, you just declared it with the 2 bodies in your immediate vicinity.
So can you send somebody to come get the bodies?
No, I won't send church personnel into that den of weasels. It would be a disaster.
Like it currently is.
Disaster is your stock in trade, young Rosemary. If you weren't so darn good at finding your way out of it, I would pity you.
Well, I feel like you are not helpful, so
I don't know what help you expect me to provide, Edith.
Did anyone there get my picture of the image I sent of the seal that was on one of the bodies?
The what?
there was a seal.
Let me text you the picture directly
Who did you send it to?
to my contact that I thought was.
I'm your contact, Michael.
Yeah.
Now I've received a message. I'm your contact. Were you assigned a new contact?
No, this was an extra. I was bamboozled, apparently.
I'm sorry, Michael. And what you have sent me, were you sent this? Was this placed upon you?
No, it was on a business card in the.
Where did
Press
you
button.
find this? Where did you find this seal? What you just sent me, Michael?
It was on a card of the first murder victim.
This was a card that was given to you?
No, it was given to the murder. It was on his body.
This is a replica?
This is the best I could replicate when I saw it before
Thank
disintegrating.
goodness. Thank goodness.
What is it?
This is a death spell in glyph form, Edith. This is imbued in power and placed on your body. That's it. Heart attack, stroke, sometimes even spectacularly an explosion of grain matter out the ears.
That is what happened.
This glyph translates in a dead language to the end. The only reason I'm aware of it, indeed, the only reason anyone in my position would be aware of it, this is a regular tool of playful assassination for the possessed.
Lovely. Like the literal possessed, or are we using that figuratively?
Depends on which psychologist you're talking to.
Okay, well, I'm talking to you, who actually believes in demons. So,
You know that's a complicated question.
oh, that is not a helpful answer.
I understand, Edith. Yes, this knowledge, deep, dark, buried, secret. when these sort of symbols are drawn by a victim of alleged possession, it lends credibility to that status, as accessing dark magic that deep typically relies on a source that is beyond most victims.
Okay.
You're either dealing with a demon or an extremely powerful and knowledgeable dark wizard.
Well, the latter is a boundful here, so.
Given where you've said you are, yes.
Cool. I think we should leave this room.
Well, thank you, Father. We'll let you know. We'll
Michael,
get back to you in a little bit.
be desperately careful. You are in as dangerous a territory as I suspect you might have ever been, including your venerable service.
All right.
If the knowledge of what has happened gets out and is attributed to you, there are figures who attend such gatherings who will descend on you like vultures. And whereas they might not be quite the equivalent of your friend, Mr. Jason, they aspire to his level of power and cruelty. Be careful.
Thank you. All right. How far up are we? What floor are we?
7th floor.
Can we put them on the? Can we drop them out the window?
You can drop the bodies out the window? Yeah, you can drop them out the window if you want to drop them out the window.
That doesn't really do much for us.
It would put them outside of our room, so it would be extra steps for them to put them back into our room.
But
place them back into our room.
It's going to be more obvious if a body hits the floor from the seventh floor.
Looking down. Is this one of the? Is it like vertical windows, or is this by chance one of those ones that looks out over onto like a flat roof?
It drops straight down. You're at the corner.
Yeah,
this is
it
a castle.
It is nearly 100 feet to the ground.
Is that ground where it would drop like a particularly occupied area, or is it like the back?
It's grounds. The recreation garden is in the back of the hotel. You're more towards the front.
So we'd be okay.
You can drop the bodies out the window. Right on.
No, what I want to know if it's
nope.
Let's do it.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
The best part about running games for you guys is what you come up with. That is the best part.
All I wanted to know is what place we were facing, and if it would be conspicuous if we dropped them out the window. If it's towards the front, I don't really know what that means, but I'm assuming it means that people would see the bodies dropping out the window.
I'm just so concerned that Chloe wouldn't notice a body falling out of the back of the hotel. Go to the back of the hotel, see a pile of bodies. Oh, I guess that's normal.
Proposal. What if we yeeted said corpses out of our hotel window? I'm just saying.
I don't normally go to the back of hotels. So
but you wouldn't be surprised if you found a pile of bodies back there.
Well, yeah, I might actually start to investigate where they might have come from.
Right, but there's 7 floors. Well, okay, but I don't know. We could clean real well.
It's so TTRPG. What if
we get it swinging
these corpses? What if
and swing it so it looks like it's fallen from a different window?
All right.
Yeah. What if we made them go out there?
So, okay, fine. It's a terrible idea. We'll just leave them on the floor.
I mean, I'm not passing that kind of judgment on it. It's a funny idea. I'm not
cut off their faces.
Terrible.
Oh my god. Okay, I think we leave them here for now. And we try to go figure out who did this, so that way we can pass the, oh my god, 2 people were murdered off of us before a convention of wizards comes to murder us for it.
Right on.
Crazy,
but responsible one, Michael the Badass, and Edith the Corpse Eater. What are you going to do next?
Well, maybe we should go listen to this keynote speaker.
That's not for a few hours. That's kind of like the main event of the evening.
Okay,
But,
if you get the schedule, what are the options?
So right now, there would be another networking event. There would be a game of golf in the course in the back, and there would be a luncheon, an instructional luncheon honoring doing some kind of awards for teachers or something.
Okay.
We need to figure out who sent us here, as we're being framed, obviously. And it's somebody who wants to start a war with the church.
Awards luncheon? I don't know. I feel like we just pick one of these and go. Edith or Rose, can you like sense usefulness?
I could try. I mean, how hard could it
She
be?
sure can. What do you want to do?
So the dagger is currently the murder weapon we know of.
Mm-hmm.
And you can stop me if this is not a thing, but she wants to basically try to find a connection between the dagger and one of these events.
So that's interesting. How? I am not opposed, but tell me how you, with your powers and knowledge, would do that.
I think she's trying to sense the aura of the dagger and then hopefully follow it to someone in one of these events.
Right on. And kind of like the framework, that you've sensed auras and created connections yourself, or are you trying more like pure magic?
I think it would be more off of like, so she and Rari have done a bunch of tracking spells off of finding people and magic to them.
So more of a tracking spell.
Yeah.
Okay. Roll weird.
Okie dokie. Okay. That would be a 12.
Okay. You can feel sort of a tug and pull, and you create sort of the bond as you're used to creating, and a thread of connection is established that you can follow.
Okay. I think I got a string.
Was I able to lift any prints off the dagger?
Notably, no.
Okay.
That's a skill you would absolutely possess, so you would notice that there weren't any.
Cool. Let's follow the breadcrumbs. And
You what?
Edith doesn't have any super useful magical skills because they're all still very like wonky. But can we like cast any? Can we try to like cast some sort of protective?
You can give it a shot. Absolutely.
Just gonna roll weird.
Go ahead.
10.
Tell me what you do.
Edith is going to concentrate all of her frustration on the door, willing it to stay shut for anyone except us.
You do so, and you have no idea if it works, but
Nope.
you do so, and you sure try.
Cool.
You try hard, in fact.
Yep.
We're going to come back, and there's going to be a detective squad and a bunch of CSIs trying to break down our door to get into the room to find the bodies.
2 of them are going to get a concussion trying to just ram through the door. Cool. Following Rose down to the
thread leads back to the elevator bank and into a particular elevator.
Okay.
You wait for it. It comes up. The tracking terminates at a small, very small pool of blood in the corner.
Okay.
If you had to guess, you've tracked it back to where the incident happened, but it goes no further.
In the corner of where the elevator, so he was murdered in the elevator.
Stands to reason.
Okay.
I mean, might be a little mundane, but we could get to the security footage of the elevator.
Yeah, that actually is not a bad
Let's
idea.
go to the front desk.
We
Yeah.
just
Take it down.
we take the elevator down.
And you can take an elevator down.
We should maybe
Let's
take
take-
a different elevator.
Let's take the stairs.
Yeah.
Oh, good choice.
After a longer trek down the stairs, you go to the front desk.
Hello.
Right on. The
Hold
front
on.
desk person kind of comes over. Hi.
We're just walking up to. Actually, we're good.
Can I help you? Is there a problem? Room service
I
misfile?
thought Mike
Or
was going to play the cop card.
There
he?
is a problem. There's been an assault when you look at your security cam footage.
God already? Okay. Well, that's going to be a problem.
Let me guess. Your cameras are broken.
Yeah, all of them every year. It's a wonder we can even keep the phones working.
Cool. Thank you.
When did they go out?
Typically, as soon as these folks start arriving.
Can we get a quick look at the last footage you have?
Yeah, of course. And she presents like the computer screen, like turns it around, types on the keys, sets it forward. Michael, you see nothing before it fizzles. Edith, you see nothing before it fizzles. Rose, you see something when the others see static. You see Jerry walk into the elevator, huge stack of cash, just leafing through bills. Someone joins him. Jerry looks at him, kind of confused. The figure slaps the money out of his hand, appears to hit him with something. With so much force, his feet lift off the ground, and he is pinned to the wall and stops moving. He appears to die instantly. And then the figure turns toward the camera and winks at you and mouths the words, "I'll see you soon." Looks just like Thomas. And that is the end of part 2 of this episode.
I really hate that.
Thomas! Gosh darn it!
I hate it. It's bad.
Is not Thomas.
Thomas, do you know how many times we've had to save you from the cops? We cannot have 2 murders on your hands.
See what happens in part 3, and hopefully in part 3 you get a Rory back and all his abilities and creativity. So, but that is the end of part 2.
Knocking on that coin.
You're in the den of wolves, and stuff is going south.
Oh my gosh. Well, we are scheduled to be off next week, and then we will be back again the following week. If you are new and just catching up, check out our YouTube channel. You can find us at Uncanny Pros on YouTube, and you can catch all of the exciting episodes of season 1 and the season 2 thus far. And yeah, we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Thank you so much.
See you guys. Thanks for sticking around. Bye-bye.
Have a good night.
Oh, wait. Never mind.
Oh, wait. Never mind.
I realized we didn't do any announcements. Are we?
Yeah.
Oh wait, it's still not.
I was trying to wrap it up.
Showing us is live.
It was still showing us as
Wrap
live because the button didn't get fully pushed. It tricked me. So, do you have any announcements, Elle, or?
The only thing I've got is that for our giveaway sponsor for the season, Escape Velocity, they are a cute little comic book shop in the heart of downtown Colorado Springs. They have a ton of summer events going on. So if you want to check any of them out or find any cool sales, they're doing an awesome book club this month on a series called Dice or Die. I think it's DIE. And it's really cool. It's a series about these characters who get pulled into their D&D game and having to fight off all of the monsters that they created over the years. And it's a really dark, kind of cool story. So if you want to be a part of that, check out their website. Or you can go to their Facebook link. If you just go to our About Us section, click on Escape Velocity, it'll take you right there. But it's a really cool thing. I would check it out. I've done their book clubs before, and they were so much fun. So I think that's all I've got, though, in terms of like crazy, cool, exciting announcements.
Everybody check out Escape Velocity Comics. And we will be back in 2 weeks. Unless, Bill, you have anything?
Just check out our links in our bios. We all have stuff going on.
We all have cool links. We all have cool bios.
Some cool stuff. Bye.
We'll see you guys in a couple weeks. Thank you so much.
Bye.